Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Not Worth the Time. We're going to do it. We're here. We're having a fun week. Everybody's having a good week. It's probably colder than fuck where everybody else is. Seems like that's the consensus on everything right now. Everything's getting cold. There's another cold thing coming down, you know. We might even be re-upping an old cold thing, you know. If you pay attention to the news, there's a lot of cold stuff probably heating up maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. And I'm not here to talk about that, you know. I'm here to distract you from what really goes on in the world. So hopefully nobody comes to this in hopes that they're going to get real information, okay? You're not going to get any cool hot takes on a cold issue from me, okay? That's just the way it is. I'm just going to be upfront about that. So no hot takes on the cold issues, you know? I will give you a rundown of what I did this week, though. How about that? That sounds fun, right? I'll tell you what I did. You know, this one-way conversation we have once in a while, just to let you know that how things are going for me, and you don't, you know, you could tell me, just leave me a long comment and tell me what you did this week in between these two times, you know? You can do that. You can totally do that. Maybe I'll read them. Maybe I'll read them on the podcast just to let everybody else know what you're doing, you know? I just stuck my finger in my ear because it felt like something was moving in there. That is one of the most terrifying feelings that sometimes is like when something's in your ear. I have it often where I feel like I rattle some fucking clunk of weird shit that builds up in your ear and it falls out. I'm not a fan of it. It's going to be a problem when I get old. I already feel like I'm hard of hearing. I don't know if it's just years of putting earbuds in my head. Now I'm working with chainsaws. I don't know. My hearing is fucking garbage, though, I feel like. I feel bad for any woman who I date who has to repeat things to me. It's not because I'm not listening. It's because I just didn't hear you, okay? And it's not. It's just I'm hard of hearing. You got to speak loud. I'm a loud dude, too. Like, if you're trying to get in a word in edgewise and I'm talking midway, dude, I'm loud. I don't think people understand how much I have to manipulate the volume on these podcasts. I'm loud as shit. It's annoying, you know? I don't even need a microphone to do stand-up, guys. I will make a room echo, okay? Just a loud, booming thing. Anyway, sorry. Back to my week, I guess. I had a good one, though. I did something. I conquered a fear this week. That's right. Taking important steps into being a more well-rounded individual and conquering my fears. Some people don't know this, and you probably wouldn't have guessed this by the fact that I have my half hour out there called Wild Horses, but I'm fucking terrified of horses, guys. Maybe by that joke you can tell why I'm scared of horses. Maybe like the outlandish, over-the-top, cartoonish ways, but that joke comes from a fear. I'm scared of horses, guys. They're a terrifying animal when you really think about it. You know, it's crazy that they're that strong and all they do is eat hay and oats. They eat no protein. They just are fucking... What is it with animals in the animal kingdom that are just fucking naturally jacked and super strong and they don't have to eat anything? It's crazy how nature, the dietary restrictions it has for each different animal is astronomical on how it affects your body. Like gorillas are probably the strongest. Are they a primate or do they just primate? I guess because they're not monkeys because they don't have tails. So it's like the strongest primate on the earth, right? Well, all they do is eat leaves and like just vegetables. So they don't eat meat, guys. Those motherfuckers are jacked and they don't eat any protein. They don't need it. Yeah, they only beat up other animals in defense of their young. And just to flex on humans when they come around, you know. You got one of those dickheads who comes through the jungle like, I'm going to get a cool picture of this gorilla. And then they just drag you by your pants just to, like a couple of feet, just to remind you, like, you're a toy. You are a plaything to me, and you're coming into my domain trying to fuck with me, okay? And that's how horses are to me. Horses are this like crazy animal that got super strong. They're ridiculously muscular and fast, and all they do is eat grass. Now, I will say this: That does not work for humans, okay? You still have to supplement protein with things if you're like a vegan or whatever and you don't eat animal products. It's possible to still get jacked as a vegan or a vegetarian. It is, but you still have to have protein. And I'm telling you this, you're not getting it from vegetables. Those motherfuckers aren't eating anything but vegetables. Their diets are different. We're different structurally. That's why they walk on all fours, okay? They're a crazy animal. And they're just powerful. The fear stems though from like I've ridden horses before. Ridden horses, had neighbors who had them and stuff, and they invited us out to ride them all the time. You know, we go out to their little barn, check out the horses. They all had their own, and you know, get to ride them around the little pen a little bit, take them out for a nice little trot. It was cool and stuff. And what scared the shit out of me is like they're obviously massive animals. So it was like, okay, this is a big fucking animal. But like you're around people who are around them all the time, and you're just like, okay, they know what they're doing. Obviously, they know the temperament of this animal. It's like being around your buddy's dog. If you ever have a friend who has a dog who is chill when they're there, but if they're not, it has an overwhelming aggression towards random people. Not overwhelming, but it's just they have a like, I'm fucking alpha now. Like, dad's gone, I'm in charge now. Like they feel like they are the second in command when it comes to running that house. And that's how you like what I figured kind of was going on with these horses, right? And then I found out that like horses have like a crazy blind spot. And I found that out because my neighbor, their mom, was out taking care of the horses, and the fucking horse kicked her. And you know how powerful they are after you ride on one, so you can imagine what a fucking kick to the face with hooves on. Not only just hooves, but they have their metal shoes. They got those horseshoes on there. You know, they're supposed to be lucky, but unfortunately, if they impact your face, it fucking really sucks. There ain't nothing lucky about catching a hoof, okay? I mean, if you survive, you take that horseshoe off, and you keep that, right? It's like the Christians having the cross around Jesus' neck. You know, they wear that as a symbol of Jesus. You should wear a horseshoe after that if you get kicked in the face. That way, it lets people know you got kicked in the face, and it also lets them know you survived and you're pretty lucky. That's why horseshoes are probably considered lucky. So many people probably back in the day when they were riding horses as transportation. You know, like, that happened, and that's why they said, oh, horseshoes are good luck. Yeah, because they fucking somehow stop a piece of iron on the bottom of a hoof is, like, keeping you alive enough. Yeah, Ted's a little special in the head now, but he's alive, and that's pretty lucky. So we just give him this horseshoe, and he chews on it now and then. He carries around the thing that gave him his greatest burden, you know. That's why I'm scared of horses. But my girlfriend now, she's an equestrian. She likes to show horses. She shows competitively. It's cool. So she invited me to go down to her horse barn where she was going to train her horse. And I was like, okay, I'll go with you. I'll go. Yeah, I was fine. I was fine while the horses were in the pens, okay? Like, they're just got their heads out. You can walk over and pet them a little bit. There's a couple of them that are feisty. I was fine when we first got in there. I was like, okay, everybody's cool, everybody's calm. Then there was like a bathroom I went into to go pee, and I came out, and there's a horse right on the other side of that, so I flushed it, and I'm guessing the flush probably maybe spooked it or whatever. That's what I try to tell myself so I don't feel as bad. But in reality, I'm pretty sure this horse was punking me, dude. I'm pretty sure this horse was like, this guy's going to go to the bathroom, and he's a bitch. And I walked out, and that horse just and just fucking let me have it, like, right as I opened the door, and it scared the shit out of me. And I did the thing I do when, like, dogs or cats, like, try to, like hiss at you or bark at you. I'm just like, is that it? Is that so, bud? Tell me about it. And just do the tell me about it. That's my only thing I can do to animals when they try to talk to me. I just go, tell me about it, bud, and just hope they fucking start gossiping. Like, that horse was going to give me the lowdown on what's been going on in the barn and the new drama. How fucking Pegasus over there has been fucking eating all the hay and hogging all the good shit because he's a picky little bitch, you know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I tried to tell myself it was just the horse getting scared because they flushed the toilet. But in reality, I'm pretty sure it just tried to punk me out, which it probably did successfully. Okay, those things can smell fear. Well, I was fine while they were all in the stables, right? Oh, totally fine while they're in the stables. Doors are shut. There's a thin layer of wood door between me and these big ass animals. And one in particular, this is when I realized how, like, those stables are just sliding doors. They're barn doors. The thing that people put up as a nice little decorative door for their bathrooms now, because that's a really fucking popular thing to redesign your bathroom with. That's all that's keeping these horses at bay. Like, that is insane. And they kick it. One of them was kicking the living fuck out of that door, dude. And that's terrifying. You hear how fucking hard it kicks wood? Like, I don't know what kind of wood they use. Balsa wood? Oak? It's definitely not cedar. Definitely not pine. Because that's what you use in karate class. You can go right through that shit. So, this was some fucking strong-ass doors. Because they just fucking... This one was just not having it. I guess it bunks next to another horse that gives it a lot of shit. And those two just go at it, and they just like kick each other's walls. One day they're gonna kick down the walls, and they're gonna go at it. I don't know if you've ever seen horses fight, but it is hilarious. That is the one thing. Horses are terrifying, but when you watch them fight other horses, it's the funniest shit ever because they don't have artillery. They have no weapons. They have their teeth. They button it and they bite at each other's ears and try to kick each other. But like, in all reality, it's like watching two women fight. Like, they try to go for the hair. Horses fight like women who haven't been trained in Muay Thai kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or anything like that. There's no skill to it. It's like throw some fists, grab some hair, and go to the ground. And hopefully somebody pulls you apart. Although I don't think anybody's going to pull apart two horses, okay? The only person that's going to break up another fight is a horse. And I don't think other horses give a shit enough. They just like, let them fucking figure it out. They're old school about it. They're like, let them throw hands. This is how we solve things. That's why they're the most Western animal. The horses are still out there fighting, doing it the old school way. It's like, go out in the middle of the square and duke it out. Whoever wins is right. That's why they're the most Western fucking animal, dude. Yeah. But I was fine, and then, like, when I got nervous is when my girl brought out her horse, Al. And Al's a good dude. Al is a super nice horse. He really was. Like, he just, like, I stood next to him. I tried as close as possible. The thing that gets me now is I'm scared is ever since I've heard about the walking behind horses, like, that's what terrifies me. I do not want to walk behind a horse ever. Like, and it's funny because I'm watching my girlfriend clean this horse. Like, she brushes him, and she's walking right behind him, and all this stuff, like, and, like, I don't know if it's, like, a certain distance or what, but, like, she was just walking behind him, no big deal, wasn't a problem. I was not going to get anywhere near him while he was out. Like, I got a little bit close to him, but I was only, like, 4 feet away, okay? I feel like, even though it's a horse, I was like, I got a 4-foot head start. I can bail somewhere where I might be safe. The idea in my head that I was like, I got a 4-foot head start. I can tuck and roll somewhere to avoid just getting stomped out by Al. But he would never do that. And it was fun to watch her work out her horse. He was like excited too. Like, I guess a lot of the other horses just like, it's like taking them to the gym. They don't want to fucking go to the gym and stuff like that. But he's like pumped about it. Al's like the gym bro of horses. He was walking into the arena to get like trotted out and do some stops and some pivots and lead changes and work on his form, and he was fucking down. He was like, we're going to do a PR today, aren't we? No PR today? Okay, no PR today. I guess we're just going to trot along here. But, So I conquered, I think, a little bit of fear. I'm gonna eventually get on top of a horse again, guys. I'm gonna ride it. She asked me. I remember my girlfriend asked. She's like, I know it's a long shot, but do you want to get on top of Al and maybe ride him around? I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and there's gonna be a couple times out here for me to get used to that. So, yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious in the fact that like I really am a city kid. Like it's I've done chores. I've been on a farm. I've been on a ranch and been around cattle and stuff like that. But like I don't know. Like it's not like I was around them all the time, so I don't have that comfortability with them. And it's very funny to me that like I have this weird fear of them. And I was even telling my mom about it the other day. I was talking to her on the phone. It's like, oh yeah, I went and did this thing. She's like, yeah, I had no idea until like a few months ago when you started dating her that you actually had a fear of horses. It was like, yeah, I've had a fear of horses forever. And she's like, oh. Yeah, she's like, it's probably not that big of a deal. Like, she's like, if you would have been out to Colorado with us and done the horse riding thing there, I think you would have loved it. All those horses are so well trained and behaved. You would have been fine and gotten on. I was like, I would have not have. I would have been like, you guys go do that. I'm gonna go find a head shop. I'm gonna go do something else today because I don't want to ride a horse. Like that sounds terrible, especially one you don't know and it's been ridden by a bunch of other people. You don't know what other dickheads have ridden the horse. They need to have a horse facts. Show me the horse facts. Like, what did the last rider do to this horse? Did he fucking try to send it into overdrive? Did he abuse it? Did he yell at it? Is this a rescue horse? Because I know you have horse sanctuaries and you bring them to, like, the battered and bruised horses that have been neglected and you take them to these places. I don't want to be on a horse that's been rehabilitated. If all of a sudden he has flashbacks and all this, and now he's just sprinting off with me on his back, just trying to throw me off and buck me into a river because he thinks I'm fucking Ed, who was fucking beating him to death, I don't know. Whereas I will probably feel more comfortable with my girlfriend's horse at some point because I know and have seen and know who takes care of him. And that's the cool part. But I'm working on it. That's the thing. Progress, people. I'm trying to be better. Conquering fears. I didn't know I wanted to conquer a fear in 2022, but here we are. We're going to do it. Isn't it insane that like a thing that most people be kind of pumped about? Jumping on a horse, hanging out, going on a ride, terrifies me. Whereas most people are like, public speaking, you're going to do stand-up and try to be funny and entertain a crowd? That sounds hard as hell. And I'm like, I don't care. I'd rather do that. I could never have been a cowboy at this point, But then again, it's like the circumstances. I have no problem dressing a duck in the field after killing it. I have no problem training dogs because I've been around that. Like, well, some people would have a problem with that. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to really re-justify that I'm not a pussy because I'm scared of horses. The thing that people like really fantasize about, that girls love when they're growing up. Like, they love ponies and shit. And I was like, nah, dude, I'm not down for that. What is this thing, dude? Also, their teeth. Teeth always gets me. They only have like 4 teeth. They got like 4 teeth on top and bottom, 8 total. It's weird. They're beautiful until they open their mouths. They're like English people. Or horses are just like, you show their teeth and you're just like, God, you goofy bastard. How could you ever get violent? then you see it and you see videos and you're like, oh, fuck that. Fuck that. But yeah, I just don't want to end up paralyzed. I don't want to pull Christopher Reeves and get paralyzed by a horse, That's what I don't want to do. But luckily, nowadays, turns out we're getting to a point in history where getting paralyzed like Christopher Reeves is going to be a thing of the past, guys. Yeah, they're slowly working towards it. And that's one thing I wanted to bring in because I wanted to uplift this podcast and give you hope. Hop on to take your fear and toss them aside, Go skydiving. Go ride a horse. Do those dangerous activities because now, dude, look, a spinal cord implant allows paralyzed people to walk in just one day. Unbelievable, guys. We're living in the future. And there's some cool shit in there, right? So Michael Roccotti Never thought he would walk again, much less swim, cycle, or paddle a kayak. Now, see, there's an important part. Like, yeah, you can, you got a spinal implant, but can you do your other activities? Yeah, you can walk and do your other stuff, but you want to be able to do that. A terrifying motorcycle collision in 2017 damaged his spinal cord, leaving him completely paralyzed from the waist down. Yet, on a cold, snowy day in December in Laslin, Switzerland. I'm guessing that's how you say that. I have no idea. He's in Switzerland. He took his first steps outside. With the help of a walker since his accident, his aide, a new spinal cord implant that bridges the signals from his brain to his lower muscles. Hopping, hopping, wait, hoping over damage hopping over damaged portions of the restored movement. It all took 1 day of simulation, which is crazy. So this guy was able to walk in 1 day, um, just because of this implant. It's now connecting the fiber tissues between his muscles and his brain, which is incredible, dude. I don't know how many nerve endings, or if you've ever seen a breakdown of a spinal, your nervous system, but everything is just connected right there. So we have the human race has somehow figured out the nerve endings that you need to tap into in order to control muscle fibers, which is insane when you think about it. Also, terrifying to know where all that information once came from. Because I will say this, not always have these medical advancements been done on the up and up, okay? There's been a lot of stuff that was done during some atrocities and some horrifying times that they took people into internment camps and experimented on them. Unfortunately, the Nazis had a leg up on science because they didn't give a shit about people's lives. That's the unfortunate part. So it's crazy. I hope that this is us all in the up and up. I don't know why I brought this down. I'm sorry. This is a really cool story. Unlike previous spinal simulators, the implant electrodes are placed directly on the spinal cord, allowing access to different neurons that control the lower body's muscle groups. With the help of the tablet, the implant can be adjusted to support a given activity. Oh, whoa. So he's got a garage door opener controller. He's got an app for that. So there's programs then that are allowing his muscles to know which activity you're going to do. That's interesting because that's probably how all of our bodies are wired up. Right now I'm doing a podcast. Yeah. But my brain has to shift into this mode. Before this I was playing video games, right? Playing Halo. My body is in a different state, a different mode of using my hands. Right now, I'm talking with my hands. And I do that to make sure you guys get distracted from the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about and don't have a real point. That's why I use my hands, okay? But when I'm playing the game, I have to switch into a different mode set. That's interesting. I've never even thought about it that way. So this guy has to have a tablet that has certain activities pre-programmed. It sounds like standing, walking, swimming, biking, letting people simulate their spinal cord neurons like keys on a piano. Yeah, perfect. So just like playing a song, like they're saying, I guess you have to hit the right notes in order to get the right song. So if you're doing swimming, for instance, that's a completely different motion than walking. So you have to be able to hit the right chords. Yeah, that's wow. You just take for granted so much of what you can do with your body, like the fact that you can just walk around and go make a sandwich, and you just do normal everyday things, and you just completely take it for granted. And it's cool that being able to restore people's things. It works like magic. Within a few months, Michael and 2 other men who were completely paralyzed were able to cruise the streets of Langlis on Segway-like walkers. Very cool. Okay, spinal zap. Cortine is no longer is no stranger to spinal cord stimulation. In 2018, his team worked with a longtime contributor of neurosurgeon, collaborator and neurosurgeon, Dr. Joyce, John, I don't know how to say it, Dr. Bloch, dazzled the field with simulators that allowed a paralyzed man to stand up from his wheelchair and take a step. The spinal cord injury, the telephone lines between the brain and the muscle groups are severed, blocking the data flow. Without the intact nerves, muscles lack guidance to translate movement intentions into the actual coordinated muscle contractions. The injury also destroys sensation, resulting in paralysis that usually are irreversible. Got it. But like the bank of the collapsed bridge, the natural infrastructure below the damaged area remains generally intact. By artificially simulating these nerve cells, it may be possible to recreate an electrical signal that governs our muscles. Yeah, the fact that there's just electricity flowing through us and you can just literally, like I just spun in this chair. I'm not even thinking about doing that. I'm just doing it. And it's just sending a wave from your brain down your spinal cord to move your feet in a certain way. That's insane. But programmable movement. This is the part I really wanted to get into. I didn't realize it addressed it so early in the article. But then came the software. The team blanket it as usual. It is far easier. Conventions of constant simulation as the pattern veers far from the natural neurobiologic signals. Rather than deciding to program different simulation patterns to aid diverse activities. Previous studies have found that different activities man, my brain. Dude, sometimes, I know this, I've said this on so many podcasts, my brain just shuts down sometimes. Previous studies have found that different activities recirculate specific bundles of nerve fibers from a part of the spinal cord called the dorsal root. Like cooking a recipe, these insensible can then activate different motor recipes by playing within the timing and sequence of the simulation. It then is possible to mimic the neurobiology of the movement when the original biology hardware is destroyed. Once the implant is in place near the back of the tailbone, the team connect the metatormic device inside the abdomen. The FDA approved the device is generally used for deep brain stimulation. I think I've been saying simulation when it's stimulation this whole time. God damn, I'm an idiot. This is why this is not worth the time, guys. Like, me reading this to you is stupid. But if you want to read it on your own, you can come down and check out the things. But add in a tablet with a simple click, and they can easily switch between different stimulation patterns to support an activity. Standing, walking, swimming, and so on. The setup took just an hour. So literally, they're just using this this device and setting up patterns to do that. Now, here's the cool thing I would like to know: can you much like a PC, right? You can overclock a PC. Like right now, I'm running my computer, but I have it set on its most basic standards. But if I want, I could kick it up a notch to get better performance out of it. Can you overclock your muscles now? Like, so if he's swimming, can you somehow overclock your legs to swim better, to have a faster stroke in your legs now that you are you're sending a signal to it, but it's an artificial signal at this point because it's not really from your brain. Or at least that's what my understanding. It's more of the signal being sent from the tablet, and the device is then picking the sequence of nerves to send a signal to. So can you overclock it? Could you start setting like Paralympic records this way, just because you're just using a device to help you like really fucking clock in. Because you're gonna, as this stuff progresses, like it's great that we're gonna be able to get people who have lost their ability to walk again. That's amazing. Um, but you will see people who don't necessarily have any issues trying to find a way to implement these into their lives. Like you'll see powerlifters maybe use this in order to fucking lift more, probably. There's just always people trying to use this technology to advance some kind of agenda that they have that really isn't about helping people who are misfortunate. It's more of helping advance the species. And it's just like one thing closer to becoming more of a cybernetic being at this point. Also, that's probably one reason why I kept thinking it was simulation, because my brain is always thinking about simulations and VRs and stuff. So I apologize for that, but it is stimulation. That makes more sense now that I read that. God damn, I'm an idiot. But that's what this is. I thought that was a fucking amazing story, and I just had to share that. I know there wasn't a ton of funny in it, but it's fucking sweet. It's cool to see stuff like that. I get pumped on stuff like that, it's not that it eliminates risk, but it makes you feel better to go out and do things. That's one of the reasons why I like tied it in with like the horse thing. Is you just as the ability to not necessarily reverse, but still have a life if a mistake happens, is miraculous. Having the ability to still be able to walk after having a motorcycle accident is incredible. Like no one ever thought that would be possible. Like 40 years ago, even like nobody thought that would be possible, but here we are. It's very cool. So if you want to read more about that, definitely go check that out. The links are in the description down below. If you want to get more entertainment, you need to head on over to punandgame.com, though, guys. That's right, punandgame.com, where you can find all your favorite shows here on the website. You got Who Gives a F, Not Worth the Time, The Empty Parlor, The Backlog of Things About Stuff, Monster Jamboree, all those great podcasts, guys, right there for you to enjoy on the website. And if you really want to help support the website, you want to go to the Pun and Game shop, where you can find yourself t-shirts, hoodies, and all sorts of cool shit for your favorite podcast here on the network. And while you're there, don't forget to use promo code NWTPOD. That's NWT Pod. And that gets you free shipping at checkout, guys. So definitely go grab yourself something to help support the site. I don't have anything on the books as of right now as this comes out. I'm actually in Albia, Iowa this weekend. When I recorded this, but that's already over, and I'm sure it was a fucking hell of a good time, so that'll be fun. But I'll let you guys know if I have any new shows coming up here soon. Hopefully, I have some things in the works right now, and I'm trying to get some stuff on the books, so I'll let you guys all know as soon as possible. But follow me on the social medias. That's down in the description down below. All my handles are Wade Taylor _WGAF, so find me on Instagram, YouTube, Comic Wade Taylor. Go subscribe to that. Watch this there. Leave a like. Say, hey, I'm watching it on YouTube. And yeah, have a good time. Check out my half-hour Wild Horses on YouTube. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you checking out Not Worth the Time. Have a fantastic week. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.